What a bunch of idiots, imbeciles, stupid as it gets. Stupid, clueless idiot, a bunch of clueless nuts. Is there anybody here that's got any brains? Stupid, stupid, stupid every day, every night. So stupid. Yeah, just really stupid.
Yeah, I heard I got Bully Ray next week, but I don't believe it. See, I don't have a match tonight, but I'm still working out because I have nothing else to do. What am I going to do? That's what I do. What am I going to do? Play the guitar?
Trey, we're back in the saddle again.
Yep, back on the saddle.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that in the background? Was that on my end or yours?
No, I don't.
Are you fucking retarded? The hell's the matter with you?
Oh.
But welcome, guys.
Okay. Yeah, welcome. Sorry about that. We're acting like a bunch of retards right now. Holy shit. All right. Okay. Anyways, Trey, how you been? What you been up to?
Doing pretty good. Been pretty good week. Well, actually, good couple weeks for wrestling because we haven't had to watch AEW. So,
sadly, I still did. I still watched. Yeah.
I did watch Sacrifice last night. It was actually pretty decent.
Oh, you did? Sweet.
Yeah. TNA's been doing pretty good.
Yeah. I know they were in El Paso. I didn't get to watch the show. I know they turned Ziggler into another heel with his brother.
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah. Dolph attacked Matt Hardy. The only thing that doesn't make sense, I don't know why Dolph's going for the tag titles. I don't know why he didn't go after Joe Hendry again, but okay.
Yeah, that was kind of weird to me too. But it is what it is, I guess, right?
Yeah. Last Legend and Jakara showed up.
Yeah, I saw that, and plus I saw that Jeff put himself through another fucking table again.
Yep.
Ugh.
Jeff still doing ladder bumps in 2025. That's where we're at.
Yeah, dude, it's something. I wish you would kind of slow down because I don't want to see him crippled, right?
No, not at this point. I love Jeff, but you don't need to be doing ladder bumps nowadays. Like, come on.
No, not right now. Like, if he wants to space them out, cool. But it's like you're almost. I think Jeff's closer to 50 than he is anything. So I mean, just settle down a little bit, please. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you look like Mick Foley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. Especially if you're going to potentially be coming back to WWE. I think, granted, Triple H will probably tell like Jeff, you got to chill on the ladder spots, bro.
Yeah, definitely. But on that note, Trey, should we see who's in the chat?
Yes.
Okay. You do you want to recognize the chat for just a second? I am getting the stories set up so we can just get ready to go.
All right. I see. What up, Last Toxic Male? I see P-Dub in the chat, and I see Lone Star Wolf. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Thanks for being here.
I guess really quick. This is kind of an impromptu thing. We were kind of being vindicated right now on why Jey Uso should never have won that fucking Royal Rumble in the first place, because he feels like a fucking afterthought.
Yeah, big time.
It's like that whole story with Gunther and Jay. It's like it's the same thing every week. There's more interesting.
Trey, it's the same promo every week. Oh, you're doubting me, Oos. They keep on doubting me, dude.
My back's against the wall, Oos. My back's against the wall, Oos.
Yeah, we fucking get it, dude. Like I said, I don't hate Jey Uso as a person or anything like that, but it's just like, holy shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we get it. You ain't gotta freaking beat me over the head every week. The same promo. Come on.
Yeah, he's getting outclassed by his brother. Like his brother's doing far better as a singles act.
Oh, Big Jim.
And then WWE trying to softly justify, well, the Jey Uso thing kind of led to Cena turning heel. I'm like, you could have had anybody else win the Rumble and still have that same spot.
Yeah.
It should not have been Jey Uso. It's evident right now. The Chamber winners feel like hell, Charlotte Flair. I'm more interested in that match with Tiffany than I am with Gunther and Jay right now. I'm just being honest.
I know, dude. It's funny, but I don't know. Should we get into our first story of the day?
Yes, let's get into
All right,
it.
let's do it. Trey, let me ask you something. Would you pay this amount of dollars to meet certain wrestlers?
Well, depending on them, how much? Yeah,
Well, right there.
$8K?
$8,000. $8,000 fucking dollars.
Fuck.
Right
My
there.
God.
Yeah, right there. To meet Triple H and Lex Luger in a private, intimate setting backstage before the Hall of Fame takes place on Friday, April 18th. If I'm correct, if my math is mathing right.
Yeah, it's the 18th.
Yeah, so right there, Trey, could you read that to the audience real quick? Because I do not have my cheaters on for at a particular moment.
Which part do you want me to read? Oh, is it the?
Yeah, just read from the top right there where it says row and all that crap.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah.
Row 2 to 3 seating, Hall of Fame stage access with podium photo op, private meet and greet with Paul Triple H Levesque and Lex Luger with photo op, premium gift. What's the premium gift? Dedicated priority pass entrance, professional on location on site support staff.
Yeah.
All that for 8K. I love you, Triple H. If this was like 2000, 1999, Triple H, 2002, Evolution years even, maybe I'd think about it. But this is like executive Triple H.
Here's my thing. This is way too damn high for me to meet somebody for $8,000.
Yeah.
That is, holy shit, that's a lot of cash, right? And especially in
Yeah.
this economy. For $8,000, two things better be happening. Number one, I better get a chance to book a match at Wrestle fucking Mania.
Right? At that point.
Or NXT or some shit. And
Yeah.
number two, and I like Lex Luger a lot. So I had nothing against Lex Luger. I'm sorry to say this.
Same here.
But for $8,000, Lex Luger better be fucking walking out the wheelchair. All right, he better be doing shit like that. He better be freaking doing miracles out the chair right now. Right?
I better be able to smoke a blunt with Triple H for $8,000.
Yeah, that's just. I have no. Like I said before, I think they're trying to outprice the quote unquote. How can I say this? Not being an asshole. I'm not gonna say poverty people. What's the word I'm looking for? Not
Poor people. I'll just say poor people.
I don't know about poor people. It's like maybe middle class. I think they're trying
middle class.
Yeah,
middle class. Yeah.
I think they're trying to do away with the people like last year. Remember when Thunderbolt Patterson was rambling on and on, right?
Yeah.
It's in Philadelphia. People they boo Santa Claus for fuck's sake, right? They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They were booing the guy. It was his moment, and they still would just not stop. They just kept going and going and going. And it's just like those kind of fans. I think they're a bunch of assholes. Honestly, it's like fuck you. Let the guy enjoy. What was Thunderbolt Patterson's age? He was like in his 80s or 90s, right?
Yeah,
80s.
He's in his 80s, I think, like mid 80s. So he's an old dude.
Yeah,
hello,
it's like let him
everybody.
enjoy the moment. Yeah. Also, hello, Cream.
What up, Cream?
That's right. You wouldn't even know this. I was behind the scenes working the cogs like Oz. Like a freak. That's a rap lyric right there. Working the cogs like Oz.
That's a bar.
Some wild shit. That's a bar. I'm spitting bars here. I'm spitting facts.
Look for that to be in the next Gronking album.
There won't be one.
We're gonna pin down one too, and it's gonna be retarded sounds like me. Okay, all right.
Be a man, Hogan. We're gonna remix. Be a man, Hogan.
Be a man, Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So
to
we're
hit him up by Tupac, but it's
Oh, we just
man,
need to-
Randy Savage.
Yes.
we
Just
need
married
Yeah.
your wife.
we need to do the remake of Booker T, or the NXT fans are chanting to him when he came out a couple weeks ago. Hulk Hogan,
We coming
for you. Hulk Hogan, we come for
Yeah.
Tessa Blanchard's getting those chants now. By the-
yeah.
I like it.
But she did
Yeah.
the Booker T pose last night when they did it. So
Why the fuck would you pay $8,000?
Yeah.
To
No.
see Triple H, bro?
and current
I'm
Triple
sorry.
H.
I don't even care if it's peak Triple H. I don't care who who it is. I'm not paying 8 fucking K to go see the fucking Pope. All right, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
pay 8K to see fucking
No,
Triple H.
yeah.
What the fuck,
And what, for a
that's
photo
like-
op?
dude? That's like if somebody makes 30K a year, right? Let's say they're they don't make a lot of money. Something like a farmer, for example, they make about like what 30K a year.
Yeah.
USD, if they're lucky, that would be
Yeah.
a third of their fucking income.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah,
whole, and you guys
that's-
were bringing it up. I overheard it. Their whole this whole dynamic pricing thing is absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to price out
It-
lower class fans. The problem with that is that's what makes up wrestling. And to be honest,
Yeah.
the UFC's done the same thing, and I think it's a problem as well.
But-
Yeah.
all of TKO's brands, they would be what you would class as low class entertainment,
Yeah.
right? And
right,
that's
very
not
much.
to say that they're bad. It's just the
It's-
average
it's
person is
facts,
like me.
yeah.
They don't have a lot of fucking money to throw at it,
Yeah.
and they want
It's not
to
like-
be able to go pay $20 and have a good time.
Yeah, it's not like aristocrats were like saying, I'd say, Penelope, let's go watch the UFC
Yeah.
event. Shall we?
Oh my Reginald,
Like,
where's the next power slap
like
event?
even the Attitude Era at its peak was not that expensive. You could go to shows.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
It's
people
just-
did.
Yeah.
And there was a lot
But,
of house shows. We
Yeah.
were in a time period where there isn't a lot of house shows. And this is the one thing that I think Tony Khan gets right, whether it's out of necessity or because he understands somewhat of what wrestling fans need and want. Somewhat. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day, of course, right? So
Right.
this
Yeah.
could be a situation where he's right. Keeping those ticket prices low really helps AEW. It really does. Because if AEW tried to do that dynamic pricing, they wouldn't be able to do it. And even if they were popular, it sets a bad trend for wrestling in general. The one good thing about it is if you want to go see live wrestling and you can't afford WWE, you're just going to go to another event if there's another one in your area.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Indie shows aren't going to charge you an arm and a leg. And you can actually see some pretty decent wrestling on the indie.
TNA.
TNA as well. TNA does
Yeah.
it.
TNA is very cheap. Last
Yeah.
time I checked, I saw the Rebellion tickets here were like $50-something. That's not bad if you put
That's
things in
pretty
perspective.
decent compared to like what other stuff costs. Yeah. Like, I mean, you just
what-
have to, they do have to lower it because they're going to price themselves out. It works
And-
right now when you're hot, but
Yeah.
what happens when we're
They
past
cool off.
this? Because guess what? There's always a cool off. And so
Yeah,
when you get
always.
to that point, it's going to be exacerbated by the price because it's going to be like, well, I don't know if I'm willing to pay that price.
Yeah.
Look at Elimination Chamber. They overpriced all that stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
they ended up getting the people at the end, but they had to drop ticket prices a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if they just have had ticket prices be lower, they probably could have opened up the outfield.
Now, if you ask Dave Meltzer, and I'm glad you brought this up, Cream. If you ask Dave, remember what Dave said last year around this time too. He said that AEW catered to the quote unquote rich and powerful, and WWE catered to the middle class of low life people. Dave said this last year.
Well, and,
Yep, I remember
look,
that.
Look, yeah, that type of thing is one, it's wrong in the sense of your class doesn't determine your fucking, I've
Financial
seen a lot of rich
Yeah.
people be white trash,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that has nothing to do with it. But what it does have to do with is, I mean, if you lower the costs, then guess what? The rich people are going to come, the poor people are going to come, the middle class are going to come. They'll all be
Yeah.
able to afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less money, but you're always going to be guaranteed a fucking sellout, especially for WWE.
Yeah, what's
Right?
the old
Yeah.
saying is,
AEW.
yeah.
AEW is able to sell out those arenas that more theaters now,
Yeah.
but they're able to sell those places pretty well now that they've downsized.
Well, they just
And
sold
they
out.
raised those.
Sorry, they just sold out the Staples Center from last Sunday at Revolution.
They
Even though it
did.
was only seven,
And
what was it?
that's
7,000,
that's-
right?
yeah, that's a big arena.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the fact that ticket prices are low.
Right.
That's one of the big factors that that's one you can control more than
Yeah.
booking, I would say, because you can consistently keep your prices low, and it doesn't matter good booking or bad booking. You're always going to get somebody who's like, hey, it's worth me putting, in the money that it's worth me putting in this investment in some entertainment. It's like theaters, man. If theater prices go all the way up, you have a hard time.
No one's going.
I've seen screenings of films that are IMAX that have a hard time being filled. Meanwhile, like the normal screening, jam packed.
Right.
Yeah, because
that's just
cheaper.
That's just being observant. Yeah, it's like $5 or $6 cheaper.
Well, AMC
and when you put on top of that, when you put on top of that, the fact that you're going to have to pay for concessions, you're going to have to pay for parking. You're going to if you have a family, you're going to have to pay for someone to watch
merch,
kids, right?
Especially at a wrestling show. You could pay merch. They sell shirts. They sell stuff you could buy. So
So all these prices, when you increase that one price, it can be make or break between people being like, I'm going to go or I'm not going to go. Look, I'm wearing a baseball hat right now.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Do you want to know which league has which sporting events on average have the most amount of people? It's MLB. And it's not even the most popular sport. I think at this point, hockey's more popular in the US than MLB. MLB's dropping in popularity, but what they have done is they have kept their prices cheap forever. That's what made baseball super popular. Was one, it was a fun game back in the day when it was invented, right? It still is fun. I like baseball. I don't dislike it, but you can go and sit in the cheap seats, and you can be able to see the action well, and you can go for like $20.
Yeah, $20. You get food.
The food kind of that varies depending on stadium to stadium, but the actual ticket price. The actual ticket price is usually pretty low. Yeah. And if you do want to pay a lot more, you have that option. There's boxes. There's right behind the fucking batting cage right there.
Yeah. The diamond seats. Yeah.
Right behind home plate there. Those get expensive. But guess what? There's also the fucking nosebleeds. So that's how you have to look at it. You have, guess what? WrestleMania front row tickets, they're never going to be cheap. They just aren't.
No.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But if the nosebleeds are now also getting into the $100 range, past $150 for Mania, that's a fucking problem. Like that becomes a problem for people who are lower class that just can't afford it.
Well, here's my question. I know Triple H is only the content officer, right? So Nick Khan's over Triple H. My question is Nick Khan and TKO are they coming up with this scenario? It's like, oh, this is what we need to do to get better class of people to show up to pay.
It's probably TKO. I could believe it's TKO.
It's TKO, and I don't think it has to do with class. I think they just realize that these brands are popular and they can charge and they can still sell a lot of stuff out. And they've been doing this with UFC for a long time. UFC is not worried about what class of people is watching, and neither is WWE. They don't care. Fan's a fan. But what they want is they want to be able to get the most amount of money out of their fans.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing. I do think, though, at some point that becomes a bad business move, and that's just in my eyes. Look, I never fucking run a business in my life, but I can tell you that I understand what wrestling fans, the type of people that they usually are, and they're not the type of people with large disposable incomes. They just aren't, and that's okay.
Yeah,
right. But there's nothing wrong with that. But you should understand the demographics of your fan base, and instead of trying to change your demographics, expand them. That's a lot different. They're trying to, I guess, get as much money as they can out of people, and in a way that does change the demographics because you price people out. Expand it,
expand.
Have this fucking $8,000 ticket.
Like,
cool.
Let us be able to go to Raw for cheap, like not cheap, but like reasonable price. Maybe even like a B pay-per-view, like fucking Backlash. You don't have to make ridiculously expensive. I get the WrestleManias, SummerSlams, even Survivor Series. I get those making those expensive, but let me go to the B shows. Reasonable price.
Yeah. Especially with the amount of money they're making off sponsorships now, which is, I would say, a dramatic increase. I wouldn't
Way
be surprised
increase.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 200% increase.
This is the most I've seen sponsorship for WWE, at least the most I've ever watched. I mean, not even just like plastered in the ring, but just in general. You get like
general,
one
yeah.
or two sponsors mentioned back in the day, but now you got like a bunch mentioned now.
But you know what?
Yeah,
We'll
and
come
I
back.
mean-
Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think we all can agree about one thing. We'll come back to the Luger thing in just a second. I just totally lost my tab. I'll give you 1 second, sorry. Right here. we all can
Tabs.
agree.
That's your
Mm.
favorite cola, isn't it? You fucking piece of shit.
I think we all can agree that no one is
Dr.
buying
Pibb's
this
better.
fucking shit.
Oh, good God. Yes, I see this. Oh, my
Yeah.
Lord.
So,
Guys,
if you guys
you guys the Travis Scott shirt?
yeah. So if you guys didn't know, WWE and Travis Scott are doing collab together. They're selling merch, and notice the the logo is the old scratched logo from the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's
I don't
the.
actually mind that.
I actually like. Part of me kind of wants WWE to go back to that logo, if you ask me. But
I don't know. I like the scratch logo when it was WWF. I kind of like this cleaner looking logo a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this shirt is fucking terrible.
Yeah, outside of the scratch WWE, yeah, that's terrible. It's just a picture of the moment.
Yeah, with the word Cactus Jack on there. Because apparently he's now Cactus Jack, guys. Remember that wrestler that was Cactus Jack? Actually, I have an image of Cactus Jack when he wasn't Cactus Jack.
Mankind, the great WWE hardcore man.
I know Mr. T is the #1 McFoley hater. But you even gotta I feel like looking at this, and I think you might agree with me. It's kind of shitty to like take his name and then just like give it to someone else like that. Like,
I don't even think Foley like let him use the name. I think he's probably letting him use the name, but it's like, yeah, just
I think he's just taking it, and then Foley was just okay with it. I guess that's what it sounds like to me.
Listen,
oh man, I feel bad.
This is what Travis Scott should do. Don't use Cactus Jack. Just call yourself Cactus Whack or Cactus Crack. Fuck it.
Cactus Crack.
Cactus
yes.
Crack. That's
Yes.
wild. I like that one. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Just do that, dude. Come up with some originality, or you might put a fucking satanic curse on my ass for saying that, but who knows?
Dude, should we real quick talk about the Cena turn, I guess, since it's tied in?
Yeah, because it's been a while since we've been here, guys.
It's been 2 weeks, so yeah, I think I think it's past due.
I think, and look, we won't know because Cena hasn't been on WWE since. He will be on Raw.
Raw, yeah. Next
Okay.
couple weeks
What,
he'll be
like
on
2 or 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 3:00 Eastern.
Yeah.
12 my time. So I'm gonna literally be
Well,
watching
I guess
Raw in the
I'm
middle of
watching-
the fucking.
Hope nobody
I'll
at
be watching
work
that
knows that I do this because I'm definitely going to be watching Raw on my phone at work.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, bro. I'm doing it. Yeah, I mean, I do think that. Look, it's really hard to compare stuff to Hogan's turn because Hogan's turn in WCW
Changed the industry. It changed
Did.
like Hogan or
Huge.
not. It changed the industry. It practically created Stone Cold and The Rock in a way.
Yeah. I mean, kind of indirectly because they had to deal with it after. Like they kind of had to come back with their own type of stuff. I do think that this is probably top 3 easily.
Easily.
But I was thinking about it because I was like, I don't know. I was debating back and forth whether it was Hogan's turn was better, whether it was Cena's. I think the one thing was Hogan was on Nitro the next night.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
Like-
on, and
Here's my thing. I think Hogan's heel turn, objectively, is #1 because
Yeah.
no one saw it coming. Even though Bobby Heenan kind of
look at Bobby.
ruined it a little.
Yeah,
I can't-
but nobody expected it because Bobby Heenan would have said that even if he wasn't turning.
Yeah,
Right,
and I
that's
don't
the
think
thing
people
that
caught on
made it.
to. People didn't catch on at the moment what he said. So
And plus, that's the thing too, right? No, if you go back to the announcers and listen to them, they didn't tell them what was going on. They just just did it spontaneously. They didn't know what was going on in the show. So Bobby was just probably spitballing like, "Oh, he's the third man," just being that Hulk Hogan hater, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Cena's turn's number 2. If you're gonna do a
Yeah.
list, I think it's on the number 2 list. Honestly,
yeah, it'd be number 2 for me.
because
Put
Hogan,
Rollins at
what
3.
What would be number?
Seth Rollins,
Yeah,
Seth Rollins?
maybe.
especially
or
because it's
the
tied to Roman
barbershop.
Reigns and the Oh, Shawn. Oh, yeah,
that one, because that
Michaels.
one,
Yeah,
that one was. I know they didn't really do much. Like the payoff to that was not very good, and it did launch Sean's career. But the payoff is always what you're looking for, right?
yeah. And the
Yeah.
Rollins payoff was the tribal chief
that
Roman.
That was a pretty good.
That's a
that was
good
pretty
moment.
good turn.
But for me,
Yeah.
Rollins, just because it
um,
pretty much created the Roman Reigns we have now.
WWE
And what-
they created a top 10 list, but I can't find it.
Austin's
Yeah, it
not.
was
I'm gonna spoil
basically-
that. Austin's not gonna be on mine. Austin's heel turn was
No.
dog shit. It was
No,
dog.
the actual turn was kind of. I didn't like the fact that it had Vince. I feel like he should have always been at odds with Vince, even if he was a heel.
Yeah.
He should have used Vince's help to win the match. But he
2-man
never should've
power
won
trip
that.
never
And
made
then
sense
stunned
either.
him. Yeah,
You mean
and then just been
the-
like, I don't give a fuck about
him
you,
and
Vince.
Austin are cool, even though those
Yeah.
two practically try to kill each other. No,
Yeah,
within like a couple of months, they're cool now. No,
Yeah, and plus that's what really killed the
maybe
Attitude Era.
Andre's heel turn.
Andre's.
Yeah,
Where he
What about
rips off
Triple
the
H's
shirt, he
first,
cuts him.
or when he turns on Shawn? That was a good one because of the feud we got and Evolution. We
Yeah.
got Evolution out of that.
Mhm.
I like Batista's when he turned
What
on
about
Ray.
Triple H? Didn't Triple H turn at like 15 as well?
Oh, that first turn because that did
Yeah.
create
It was
the
like
game.
that
That did
match
set
that was
Xbox. Yeah, he
like
turned on Xbox.
and Shane, yeah.
honestly, I'm gonna put this as number 3, and people are like, "That's a wild fucking take," but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyways. I think number 3 of heel turns should probably be Roman Reigns, because look how much
Ooh.
when Roman turned heel, look how much
Yeah.
he's pretty much saved WWE
Yeah.
in that COVID era or that pandemic era.
Up to
He-
where we're at now.
He carried that company on his back for 4 to 5 years, dudes. Like he did it.
Yeah.
Like fuck, dude.
I mean,
like-
what about the Rock? I don't know. I don't know if you can count the Rock coming back, because with that it was very organic. It wasn't. I like the heel turns that are just kind of out of nowhere, but they make
Yeah.
sense. After
My
the fact, when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that
Yeah.
does make sense. But in that
Roman-
moment, it,
Yeah, Roman. The Roman. It gave us the Roman we got now to where kind of we're at now, where WWE like heavily improved because of that. The bloodline.
Yeah. He saved the company. I mean, I'm looking for like a more industrial, like what's it done for the business, right? Hogan's
Yeah.
number 1. It changed wrestling. It did. It changed the directionary for wrestling when Hogan turned heel. Because after that, everything followed. Nitro got more better numbers. They got more money. They had more people watching their product.
did we count Vince's? I don't know, because he
Ooh.
wasn't. He was just an announcer.
Well,
Yeah,
Brett
but-
screwed Brett. Brett, that is
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah,
Brett screwed Brett.
That is
Yeah.
like a turn, but the thing was, he wasn't really. He
There
just
wasn't
kinda-
like a moment. There wasn't a moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
the
more
kind of-
of-
I guess when he
It
started
was.
feuding with Austin, I guess
but
when he started
when
feuding with
Austin-
Austin.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Austin stuns them, that's what really turned him over because people already knew
Yeah.
that he was already the owner because everyone, Vince thought he was going to be the baby face out of the entire thing. Because like, no, the fans, will, they'll be behind me because I'm doing what's right for them.
Yeah.
No, you took away.
We
the
all
win
know. We all know the classic heel turn. 2 of them. They're nowhere near the top, but they're some of my favorite. I love when Taka Michinoku turned and joined Kai and Tai.
Yeah.
just because they put the Asians together.
I love
And
the
another
Takas-
one.
the-
Remember when Val Venus and the Godfather changed? So we had Val
Oh.
Venus and the Good Father.
oh, join the fucking right to
Yeah,
censor.
Right to censor, baby. Let's go.
Even though they both hated that. They both hated.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it was a terrible.
What about
I-
Randy's first turn?
He kind of came out as a heel though, really. Like I remember there was doing that. Remember the
Oh,
whole
like
injury?
well,
and
when he went
kept coming out?
babyface and then he RKO'd Stacy Keibler for the Taker feud, and then he went on like a heel run of a lifetime at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Edge's was
maybe-
good, even though it was on Benoit, but Edge
I
when he
think
first
maybe
turned.
we should. I think maybe next week we should just do that. Come up with a list of our top 5 heel turns of all time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But get on the subject about money and shit. TNA Plus has a new thing now.
Oh,
Yeah, TNA Plus we have an update with TNA about pricing, which this kind of leads back into what we were talking about with WWE, where everything's higher priced. TNA, the one disadvantage they have is it costs way less money to watch WWE stuff than it does TNA. But
There we go.
a little bit of a change here because TNA Plus launches new seasonal pass option, lowers the price of the annual pass. Now it lowers it significantly. Now this is all in USD, but if you go down, it'll in the article, it will show, and it's like a $50, $60, $70 drop in the annual price.
oh,
A lot. Yeah. So
That's
look,
big.
also the annual pass option will be dropping in price, going from $220 to $160 a year. This includes pay-per-view events, live specials, and all other content featured in the other 2 tiers, which this also includes the entire back catalog of TNA.
yeah.
So for
And
$160 a month, you can watch all of TNA's history, all of the new stuff. Yeah, like this is a big dub. This is a big win.
Big W for TNA. TNA's been getting a lot of W's late this year
Yeah.
alone.
I know their market's pretty much international, but wouldn't it be cool if they like teamed up with Netflix to do like a WWE and TNA like thing on Netflix? Like they have both companies on there for the international markets.
Like a crossover pay-per-view. Yeah. They
No,
did. I would
no,
love
I
that.
mean,
like
putting
that-
up TNA on.
Oh,
Like you can, like if you wanted to, right? You can do like a compilation of AJ Styles' best matches in TNA and WWE on Netflix for the international market.
Yep.
same with like Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they could have done.
that's-
Smoke there, shit like that.
Yeah. I'll give it to TNA. They've been getting a lot of dubs. The show's been actually really good the last couple months I've been watching. They've been doing a lot of good things. The only person I don't like on there is Ziggler's brother, but everything else, the knockouts division is
you got
pretty
that-
decent.
He got fucking squashed. He got that title shot and was done. In 30
Yeah, and
seconds. Good.
oh, he's a heel now. Dolph Ziggler's back to being a heel, which makes no sense to me why he's going after the tag titles, not the world title he just lost, but okay.
Yeah. I think Ryan Nemeth is. They're just gonna use up his contract, and then he's
He's
done.
gonna be a jobber. He's gonna be the jobber. Like they're not winning those titles. I think he'll be there, and then eventually, I guess Nemeth will go back for Hendry. And the TNA NXT stuff's been good. I do hope eventually we have one of them win a title. They brought in the Meta Girls. Is that their name? They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
brought
yeah.
them in. So they're probably
Oh,
gonna win
you
the
know-
TNA tag titles. Which okay, cool with that.
You know, we were gonna cover the CM Punk lawsuit with Tony Khan and the Ryan Nemeth lawsuit, but time got away from us and shit like that. We might, I might still cover it maybe later on down the road. But here's the thing: I think maybe Ryan Nemeth should do what AJ Styles and Seth Rollins has pretty soon, and that's fucking retire. Do me a fucking favor.
Yeah, we kind of have
Yes.
a little bit of updates on people, not full set stuff. Like this is just them, talking, and so we'll see what happens. But
Things could
here we
change.
have-
Yeah,
This is a clip, I believe, from Chris Van Fleet's podcast, which he does he's been doing a great job knocking it
yeah.
out.
Those last few interviews have been really good. The AJ
Yeah,
one,
Big Papa Pump.
the Scott Steiner
Yeah.
one was
Yeah,
fucking
Big
great.
Scotty.
Scotty just started going off about Hogan for no reason.
Oi, hold on. We gotta get Scott Steiner. He fat.
Freaks. Yes. I got this one freak that I'm trying to get rid of from Jersey, though. She's out to here. Nah. What about that one you got? In Sheboygan? Yeah. Retired. Okay, listen, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I got freaks 9 days out of the week. I can give him. I was only 7 days in a week. Man, you ain't Big Pop. I'm the big bad booty daddy. It's nonstop. Now listen, English.
Freaks. So, anyways,
She's fat.
She's fat. Yeah, get that dog. I ain't ducks.
That fat some bitch.
That fat son of a bitch.
You know, one of my favorite promos of Scott's in WCW when he almost got fired. Or when he made fun of Ric Flair. Ric Flair, you old bastard!
Oh
You
yeah, when he
fuck-
compared him
you
to Stone Cold,
motherfucker.
he's like, they'd rather watch Stone Cold than your old ass.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn.
Yeah. But getting back
I-
to AJ, let's-
I'm gonna say
Go ahead.
this hot take: Scott Steiner is the greatest promo in the history of wrestling.
I'm not gonna argue. I really won't argue. Actually, I think he's one of the
Think
best.
about it. All right.
Objectively.
Maybe his technique wasn't the best, but guess
Yeah.
what? It didn't matter because every single time Scott Steiner went to speak on the microphone, I listened and I had a
We
great time.
listened. We all listened. Like it didn't matter if it was
Well,
like
And I was
objective.
more hyped. You know how hyped I
Yeah.
was for that match for Sacrifice, the one that never ended up fucking happening.
Yeah.
oh, the Steiner mask promo. Yeah.
Yeah, for a match that never happened.
It never even
Yep.
happened. Yeah.
The match
fucking
happened. The match happened, but I think Kurt got injured or something happened to Kurt because they had
Yeah.
to give the match to Frankie Kazarian because he had like a ladder match with
But
Christian- I think it
that's
was-
what I mean. He went on
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and then it's like, oh yeah, so it's Kurt got injured, so it never fucking happened.
I like how he used to say Kurt Angle. He couldn't even say he would never put the T in Kurt Angle. He would always say Kurt Angle. You know, son of a bitch. It's like
Yeah, you call him Kerr.
Kerr.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Oh fuck, we love dude. This podcast is now Our Lady of Scott Steiner. That's what we
Yes, yes, it is.
Senor Joe. Oh man, I love it. So, anyways, back to AJ Styles.
Yeah, we'll talk about Steiner
AJ
later. But yeah,
Styles.
here's AJ.
Was on Chris Van Fleet, and he was talking about his retirement. Cue this.
When you talk about The Undertaker being done and you're his last opponent, do you think about how much longer you can do this?
Oh man, I've thought about it a lot, to way much more than I should have. I should have known what I was doing by now. But like, it's so hard because you enjoy it so much, and I enjoy being around my friends. Don't get me wrong, I love being at home, but the opportunity to see them and see them doing well, and seeing them smile and like seeing them grow, like some of these guys, like Roman, for instance, like, man, his selling is on a different level. He's like changed. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, all these guys, they stepped up. You know, however, if
far he's only
Roman
named
stepped up, they stepped
Samoans.
up with him. I just thought that was so
Yeah.
impressive that they do that, and seeing him grow into these amazing, these big superstar, Gunther, you know, losing all that weight to get to where he's at now as the heavyweight champion. It's freaking awesome, right? Cody, to seeing where he's at and what he had to go through to get to where he was at, and what he's doing now is at that position. Like, he's the guy.
Mm.
He puts the work in. Like, it's really cool to see those guys hustle as much as they are, and you know, beat themselves up as much as they have, and still doing well. I like seeing that, man.
So you don't want to be away from that.
No, I like seeing that. I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just really cool to see people do really well. And I'd rather see them do well more than myself. You know, I want to see you guys. Oh man, Dominic Mysterio, so freaking good to see where he was, to see where he is now. Easily, in my opinion.
Or is
top
there
heel.
a point where he gets to what
Like,
we
you
were
can't
going to
get-
talk
he-
about?
Yeah. No.
To see where he
AJ,
was.
I love
Holy
it.
fuck.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I like seeing that. That's what I'm going to miss when it's over.
My
right?
God, how
Just
long's
seeing
this
people
fucking
do really
clip?
well, find a way to get to the top.
3 minutes.
Do you want to wrestle into your 50s?
There we
No.
go.
No, I don't. No,
Do you want to have a match at 50?
no,
So
Nope.
you're saying there's only a few more years left then?
that's correct. I keep saying that for, you know, I've said this and said this, but I will not wrestle to 50. I promise you that. And It's
People are
coming
going to clip this and hold you to it. though.
Yeah, like there he is.
He said 50.
He's Ric Flair in us. He's a liar.
49 in 364 days.
Yeah. Well, it's like Sean. He was done until he wasn't. Sometimes money talks, and
But you haven't lost a step. That's the thing.
I think I hide
And you
it.
look better than ever.
I think I hide it very well.
Well, that's because you know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Very much. Yes. So
All right,
Yeah.
I think that's we get the gist of what it is that he is, and he's like what 48 right now.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah,
but
he's
yeah.
really only got-
No, he's
he's only got 2 years left.
he's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of thought when he got injured again on SmackDown, right when he came
Yeah.
back, that first match
Yeah.
back, and he did end up injuring himself. I thought that he was done. I just was like, oh my god, he's done. And he's not, luckily, but
And he
he's
came
gonna
back
get
sooner than
one
we
last-
thought, too.
Yeah, he's gonna get one last, like a couple of years in, and he's done. I think next year is his last year, personally. I know he just basically said that, but
There's
I
a couple
figured-
matches.
I figure like next year is probably the last year.
His
we get
last year.
Ray,
What's the
the last
match
year we
you
get
want from him?
AJ. Between him? Oh man,
CM Punk and Cena are my big two right now.
I would like
This
to see him
version of
with
John
Punk.
Cena, this version of Cena and AJ like clash in Paris. Imagine that. The crowd.
Yeah, I would like to see a triple threat with AJ, Ludwig, and Penta at a
Ooh,
pay-per-view. I
ooh,
think
that
that
could be good.
really fucking good. Because those two have been fucking knocking it out of the park, the two of
AJ
them.
and Logan, I'm actually looking forward to be honest.
Yeah,
some people
I don't
aren't.
think that'll be I don't think that'll be a bad match.
I
It-
got a
it's
hot take, but I don't
Maybe
know if people will like to
Shinsuke
hear it.
again. One last try at Shinsuke.
Him and Seth again.
I'd
Him-
rather Shinsuke than
Him
Seth.
and the tribal chief. Him and Roman again.
Ooh.
In a perfect world, my last match for AJ Styles would be a triple threat, and it's not going to happen. So let's just play. I'm just going to play fantasy booker. In a perfect world, it'd be AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe one last time.
Ooh.
That'll
Yeah.
never happen.
That's
Unless
not
he
gonna-
goes to AEW for one match.
It's not going to happen.
And
I
Tony Khan will just make it Curry Man and Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I think in a perfect world, probably if he's gonna do a tour, right, like what Cena's doing, you definitely get your matches within Gunther. Yeah, as of right now, they're wrestling right now in a house show right now in a steel cage with the title.
Why isn't that at WrestleMania? But no, it'd have to
That
be
or
Jay
what-
fucking
or-
Uso.
Yeah. Gunther's a match I like to see against AJ. Definitely Braun Breaker. Definitely. I want to see that.
Yeah, him and Braun would be
Um
Ooh,
Jacob
that
Fatu.
would be good.
yeah. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
to be honest, I want to see more Jacob Fatu versus Braun Breaker. Now that you mentioned Braun, that's
Yeah.
that's a fucking Mania main event in a couple years.
Yeah, that-
um,
easily.
I'm trying to think who else. Definitely he can do. Well, it can't be Cena because he's retiring. Quite well. Maybe he's retiring. Wink, wink,
Clash in
nudge,
Paris.
nudge.
That's where I was saying do it at. They could do it
Yeah.
this year. Granted, I want Cena to be the heel though.
Definitely CM Punk and AJ would be good. I don't know if they're cool with each other because I remember a couple years ago that basically Punk called my racist on Twitter.
They're both in the
I-
Rumble, and they had a spot in the Rumble,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah,
figure
I
they
feel
would
like
be.
I feel like Punk has had to go and apologize to a lot of people he was dicks to. Like look, AEW stands are not 100% wrong when it comes to Punk. He is a dickhead a lot of the time, or at least he has
Yeah.
been.
Or was yeah.
Y'all know
Yeah,
my
it was.
reaction when he first came back. I wasn't particularly the most happy when he first came back. So
Yeah.
just admit it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of money matches to do. I don't know if you want to do Randy versus AJ again. That's kind of ran its course.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think so. This
Unless
is
they
one,
turn. Oh, him and Finn? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Him
but
and Dom in
you know,
like a real match, maybe like a longer match. Him and Dom again.
that was one of the matches rumored to be at WrestleMania. It was supposed to be Finn versus AJ at WrestleMania, but you know, plans changed and now it's Logan Paul and AJ. Yeah, I mean, there's one guy in AEW I wouldn't mind seeing. Funny enough, I
Curry
wouldn't
Man.
mind seeing, besides him, I think Will Ospreay and him would have a good match.
Will
And I think-
Ospreay.
yeah, I think AJ
Yeah.
could really. I know they had one match in Rev Pro before he went to WWE back in 2017 or 2016, 2017, whenever AJ made his debut for WWE. But now I think he can learn from AJ. Slow down. Don't be doing so much stupid shit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think that could be a match.
Even you know, there's a lot of people in AEW that would have a good match with AJ. I think Kenny could. I really do.
Yeah,
Because Kenny is a slower
MJF.
than Ospreay. I think FJ. Oh yeah. I mean, if you ask me who could MJF have a good match with in WWE, I would say probably everyone. Everyone who can have a good match in WWE, he'll have a good match with them. Like MJF's good in the ring. His mic skills have been lacking from what I saw. I've taken a little break from AEW. I gotta get back.
I saw
into it
some of
this
his
week, though.
recent stuff with Hangman. It's not that great. I think it's overhyped by the fans because it's like AEW fans literally just need crumbs at anything somewhat decent. They act like it's the greatest thing in the world. So
Yeah.
But you know what?
So I think MJF could have a good go with anyone. But in AEW, there's a lot of good people there. There really is.
him and Shelton,
in
AJ
ring,
and Sheldon.
I can't stand fucking Hangman Page for nothing. But I even think Hangman and AJ would be a good match.
AJ and Sheldon, though. Low key, AJ and
Sheldon.
Sheldon now.
Yeah.
Even him and Bobby
But,
as like a powerhouse, like speedster match. Yeah.
like there's so many people in AEW, and I forget a lot of them because most of them end up not on TV. I think the only person I wouldn't want to see is probably like Jericho or Edge, because I just don't in ring. I just don't think they're there anymore.
Edge is practically, or Cope is fucking Hogan to me now. He
I
has
would
lost
rather
so
see-
much luster.
Like if you have to pick an older guy who's still wrestling, Christian.
Yeah,
or
I'd take
Jeff.
Christian and AJ. I'd take that. Yeah. They plus TNA history. They have TNA history.
But the thing is, Jeff's going to be retired by the time AJ's out of his contract, anyways, right? So
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
But speaking about retirement, this other person says that they're going to be retiring pretty soon.
yeah. This one, the AJ one's been around for a long time. This one is kind of, I wouldn't say a shock, but it
A little
wasn't
bit
really.
for me, it's
people
kind of a
really-
shock.
Yeah, but people weren't really talking about it. But when you do the math, it does kind of add up that like there's a lot of people in WWE right now who are like their main guys, and they're getting up in age where they should,
Yeah.
you know,
I
start
don't mean to
thinking
cut
about
you
moving
off.
on.
I don't mean to cut you off. Am I sharing it? Is it coming up on screen?
Yes, you are.
Or-
Yeah, I was just teeing it up.
Okay, I can't.
It's here
okay,
right
my bad.
there. Boom.
I couldn't see it, my bad.
Ah.
Oh,
Hit 'em with
Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep. Seth
Yeah,
Franklin.
Seth Rollins is aiming to retire at 45 years old. I'll be 39 in May, 45 maybe. It's kind of going to depend on what I do in the next few years as far as outside of WWE or behind the scenes in WWE. Both of these things are appealing to me. Just have to figure out what that feels like. I feel good right now. I feel very good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by any of this. Like, to be honest, there's only so long your body can go.
Yeah,
before it
and the
goes
stuff and the
bad.
way he wrestles, like all those spots he does.
Yeah.
You should. I mean, you should really aim to leave people wanting more, rather than give us too much. I would much rather you be I was gonna say Shawn Michaels before before he came back at that Saudi show, or Stone Cold even.
Stone
I know
Cold.
if we exclude that one kind of match he had with KO,
That wasn't even a match. That was Austin just beating the shit out of Kevin Owens for
that was
20
just a-
minutes.
yeah, that
10
was just
minutes.
a brawl. But
Yeah, that was just a
here's the
fight.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be like that. You should look to be like that.
Batista?
Rather
Look at Batista.
Batista. Yeah, actually, that's a good example. I mean, I know people were pissed off with him, but it wasn't. They weren't pissed off at him. They were pissed off at WWE. But guess what? We were all kind of like, man. I think we all think at the back of our head, it would be cool to see Batista come back and do another thing. It'd be cool to see him come back and do another thing.
If Brock was still there, then yeah, I don't really want him to face anybody.
But guess what?
If I'm being honest,
we don't have to worry about him trying to come back and then failing. He did the one thing. He did it. He did his last match against Triple H.
Even did an Evolution reunion. Even did an Evolution run. Short, but he did an Evolution. Yeah.
Here's my thing. If true historians of wrestling will know this, all right? The two people the most that said they retired and they came back is Terry Funk and Ric Flair. Remember the whole triple threat he was going to do in ECW when he won the world title for their first pay-per-view. I'm going to be retiring, and he won the title, and then he dropped it to whomever. I can't remember. I think it was Shane Douglas, because him and Sabu had that barbed wire match, and it never finished. So,
yeah,
he retired for about maybe a year. I think maybe not even a year, because he was already back in WWE TV doing the Chainsaw Charlie shit. Then he retired again, and then he went to WCW until they closed, because he was the commissioner for him and shit.
And then he was just wrestling on the indies.
Yeah.
And he would retire and then come back and retire and come back.
Yeah, he came back to WWE a couple times. Even the one night stand, he had was it him and Tommy Dreamer versus Edge and Foley, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I fucking love Terry Funk, but there was a point there where everyone was like, "You need just give it up, old man."
Even The Rock,
quote
unquote, retired for a bit and then he came back. Even The Rock.
It's the SpongeBob meme. How many times we gotta tell you this, old man?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think
with Flair,
it's just
a lot of
his body can't go.
I also think this whole shit of being like, "Oh, I'm going to come out of retirement again."
Yeah,
this would be his fourth retirement match if he fucking lived to it. People you burn goodwill with the fans and you become a joke.
I mean,
he
did a retirement match in TNA. Even in TNA, he did one.
Hold on for a second.
Yeah, and TNA was after he did a retirement match in WWE.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Flair should have the retirement match in 2009 been done, right? I understand why he came back to wrestling, because two things. Number one, he misses it, but number two, he needed the fucking money because his wife took him all for everything he was worth. I think he filed bankruptcy 3 times already since his divorce, I believe it was. Something like that. So it's like, and Flair's not really great with money anyways. Look how much money he's spent over the years, right?
Yeah.
So but speaking about people spending too much money, let's talk about the useless made-up championship that Tony Khan has made, and they're talking about
oh my god.
Okay, yeah. So okay. So AEW discussed the possibility of unifying the international and continental championships. Now, here's my idea. What you have to do when you have these two titles is you kind of have to combine the names, I would think, logically, if you're combining them. So I would say you take the inter from the international part, and I would just tag it on the front of the Continental Championship. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that. Yeah. Licensing.
Yeah. This is actually a good move by AEW. It's just one of these things where it's like you shouldn't have let it get to this point.
Well,
we knew these two titles.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm on a delay for some reason. I'm having internet issues right now.
Yeah, all good. I mean, here's the thing: you have these two titles that are effectively on even playing field, and you're not doing anything with these.
They're basically the USIC title. There's their United States and Intercontinental title, essentially.
Here's
I could easily mix up the international title and the continental title. I don't really mess up the intercontinental and the US title.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or even with WWE before they got the US title from WCW, even before that when they had the Euro title.
The European title and the
European title and the IC title.
Well, it's just like the International Championship. If you remember, it was called something else before they changed the name to it. It was something else at the time. I think it was what was like internet the inter something, right? It wasn't international. It was like something like
It wasn't intercontinental. No, it was like some other geographic word.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. But like then they made the Continental Championship was fucking stupid. There was no sense. It's basically the same championship. My thing is, I knew they were going to do this when Omega came back because remember when Omega and Okada had that stare down a few months back. They were alluding to it back then. Okay, we're going to see these two at the All In Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yep. My thought process is this: combine the championships and don't call it the Intercontinental title. Just keep it as the International Championship. Keep the International Championship design. Be done with it and call it a day. There was no need to do the same championship, the basic same championship in the same company. It's stupid to me. It's dumb. The International Championship should have been done and but I think they just did that to give Okada something to do because, let's just be real. Okada's run in AEW has been fucking shit.
Bad.
Yeah, it's been really bad.
When Mercedes Moné came up and danced in front of him, he got all sweaty and horny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks terrible.
That was I think that was our first AEW review we did.
Yeah.
I was like, why is Okada all sweaty and horny? Like, what is this? What?
Yeah, what is this shit?
He did that stupid dance with her. He did the CEO dance with her.
Yeah, but before that, he was watching her and he got all sweaty and horny.
Yeah. Like he's done nothing. Think about it. He's came in. This is not the Okada from New Japan at all. This is a guy that is fucking sandbagging because he knows that he cannot go like he used to anymore. He's taking Tony's money. And I mean, good for him, but it's like, still, dude, you're supposed to be like the main guy in Japan. You're supposed to be the Michael Jordan of Japan, right? And you're making yourself like a complete fucking idiot for the.
He looks like a scrub. He looks washed.
Yeah,
and
he looks terrible.
When I think he could do a lot more interesting stuff still in New Japan, even though New Japan's not in a good state right now from everything that I've seen, which is very little lately, but I've heard that they're not able to draw as much as they used to. I still think that he could do a lot more interesting stuff over there. And it would be nice for him to have that like part of his career not just all of a sudden drop off a cliff, right? Because the creative just in AEW isn't there, all right? And it doesn't matter if he can wrestle good still or can't wrestle good. It doesn't matter. If the creative shit, it's going to make him look like shit. When he's getting all sweaty and horny because a woman came up and did a dance in front of him, and that's the through line for that's his story arc for that episode, that's bad. That's really bad. That's Russo-esque. Actually, I think Russo would give us something slightly more entertaining.
At least Russo, he would still have something to do with the title, like him or not. It would still be something to do with the championship. He'd have his champion doing something.
I don't think.
Yeah, if he was a big star.
No, I think we know what he would have done. He would have done the recreation of me choppy your pee segment with him.
He would have done something in that vein. But guess what? We got a lot more out of that segment than we did out of fucking Okada being.
We got more fucking Taka Michinoku being thrown out. Remember the Royal Rumble spot where
he got the guy who got his penis cut off in real life come in and save Alvinus from the same fate.
The only two things that Okada has done memorable in AEW, right? And it's the truth. When he first came in, he aligned himself with the Elite. The Elite's fucked off. No one knows where the fuck they are. They'll be back sooner rather than later. They lost their championship and went home with the private party in October, which has been fucking great that I've been on my fucking TV. Fuck you two little dweebs. And that's the only thing they've done. And you got Jack Perry. No one knows what the fuck he's at. I don't really care either. But still, all these guys have left. They're supposed to be a part of, this group. And the only two memorable things you can think about Okada is when he's doing the backstage, having the headset on, calling someone a bitch, and then freaking doing the CEO dance with Mercedes. It's
or him smacking somebody on the head. Yeah. That's the only other thing I remember is he smacked somebody over the head.
Yeah, that was Ricochet. He smacked his bald ass head.
Yeah, this is just the thing with AEW. They need there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Maybe he gets it done. I feel like he understands that there's a problem and he wants to fix it, but he just
He's
Oh,
incompetent.
But
This
then
is
he
gonna
does
sound really
Cope
bad.
and fucking
I
Ed.
don't
Then he
think
does
he's-
Cope and Moxley again this week. They're
I
doing it
don't think
again.
I don't think he's smart enough to fix it, to be honest.
No,
and I
no.
think that's
not-
the problem. I just don't think he is intelligent enough to fix this. Because let's be honest, he's spread pretty thin.
Yeah.
I mean, you brought up on Bill Simmons that they were shitting all over the
Jacksonville.
Jaguars, and they brought up that like Jacksonville's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Until the owner's son puts effort into it, but he's too
Yep.
busy working on his wrestling company. This
Yeah.
is stuff that like is bleeding over into other parts of their business. This isn't just an incompetence on a wrestling level. This is incompetence on a football team level. This is incompetence on whatever the fuck he's working on level. He's
including their
doing too much.
including their football team in the
Bolton?
UK.
Yeah,
I put-
that one has been run pretty badly. I remember there were fans like protesting
Yep.
and shit.
I put this in the Discord. He's worse. He's the male Dixie Carter, but arguably worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's got
I-
one of the-
it's bad. And you know what? He seems like a really nice guy too, which is the worst part. He seems like a genuinely nice person.
With the
And I
Death
feel-
Riders thing, he had a chance to end it with Christian. He could have had Christian
Yeah.
cash in, and you could have actually done something that maybe would have even gotten me a pop.
That's something we gotta talk about. They fucking made Christian bitch made, man. What the
Because
fuck?
Cope didn't want to get pinned. Or
Allegedly.
Moxley didn't want to
That's-
get pinned. Allegedly.
what's
Allegedly.
That's what's being
Yeah.
reported. Here's my thing. In theory, right? Christian has his family. Kip Saban and fucking Mook Face, whatever the fuck his name is, Nick Wayne, right?
Nick
Yeah,
Wayne, yeah.
He's got his family. Why in the hell are they not beating up Moxley to make sure that he's not even a part of the match anymore? He's taken
Yeah.
care of because all of his people are gone. He's fighting off with fucking Wheeler Useless is
fuck-
fighting against Jay White.
Fuck, you know what? If you did that too and distracted the rest of the Death Riders with the fucking Cage family there,
Yep.
even
Yep.
even if you don't want Christian to win, you could have Edge pin Christian.
Yeah.
And then you could have Christian come out and like basically in a backstage stage segment next night, and he's like, "I need to fix shit," and he's fucking livid, and he's going through, and he's trying to like either he brings new people into this faction, or he just I don't know, maybe he beats the shit out of Kip and Nick, right?
Yeah.
You could do stuff there with what they did. It just kind of was like, okay,
Last Toxic Male might be right. Tony's waiting for Darby. I hate it to say he might be. He fucking might be.
Yeah.
which is why you shouldn't have let him go climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
then.
And
Yes,
that's the thing.
exactly.
Tony, And Tony should have been a fucking boss and told him, hey, look, no, I'm not paying you to climb a mountain. I'm paying you to fucking wrestle and draw me fucking money.
And become a champion, you stupid motherfucker.
This is what they're doing. If they don't, if Cope does not win the world title on Wednesday, because honestly, you got to get the world title off of Moxley. Whatever you got to do, you got to try to figure out something. You got to pretend you got to pretend he had a stage death, something.
This
right?
is worse than we were talking about it earlier. This is worse than Aces and Eights. Yeah, you got to, because this is worse than Aces and Eights. This is worse than Immortal. Because at least Aces and Eights, we got Bully Ray. We at least got Bully Ray out of Aces and Eights.
Here's the thing: I don't even think you either have to get the title off of it or do something to salvage this.
Yeah.
I need these guys to actually be a threat, not just kind of show up and then
have the title on TV.
Make
for fuck's sake
them. Honestly, make them your NWO.
Yes, and
honestly,
have the title on screen.
They're so disillusioned. Yeah. Actually, even if they fuck up the title, just be like, I don't give a shit about your title, but I'm gonna fuck it up and I'm gonna wear it so you get to see this fucked up title, the whole thing that you guys all care about. I'm gonna fucking ruin it and wear it just as a fuck you, as opposed to leaving it in the briefcase.
Here's the way I thought they should. Here's two options they could have done, but of course they're not going to do that because Tony likes to do whatever Moxley wants to do because he's afraid to say no to people. Right? What he should have done is just two things: either Christian cashed in his his contract, one beat Cope and became the world champion, and we would have gotten a Cope versus Christian again, which a lot of people would have a problem with that too. I understand it, but it gets the title off of Moxley. Or B, Edge wins the title because I'm not calling him Cope. Fuck it. I'm not gonna get sued. I'm not on fucking TV.
Cope.
Cope, he's Cope.
Edge should have won. He should have won the match, got the world title off of him, and then they should do the setup between Shane or Swerve and have him and Edge at Dynasty for the world title. Because remember Dynasty last year, Swerve won the world title from whoever. I think Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not do that? Because they kind of alluded to it after the fact, like, oh, I looked up to Edge when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. I learned a lot of his ways. So why not do the ultimate opportunist thing? Or you could have had Jay White take the contract from Christian. Christian's like, holy shit, you're going to join my family, wherever the fuck. And now he gets him a Blade Runner, and then he becomes the ultimate opportunist. He becomes the new, like, quote unquote Edge. And he beats Edge for the world title. And then you can say, oh, Moxley never lost a title.
A couple people thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, and that's what it should have done. They should have done something to get off of that fucking title.
Honestly, I would have given it to Christian. He deserves it, man. The work Christian's put in.
And I'm not crazy about the freaking Mariah May and Tony Storm match, but that should have been the main event.
That probably should have been the main event. But
yeah,
can I go off about that feud a little bit?
That Mariah May, that feud that they have going on is probably the best.
It's the best thing they're doing, but it's also overrated by the fucking. Yeah. It's overrated by the IWC. It's the best women's feud ever. No, it's not. It's okay.
I let AEW fans have their way. It's like talking to like Razor Fist. All they can do is call you a bitch and a retard, and just like they're right. By the way, fuck you.
Anyways, all right. Well, with that, Mr. T, we want to get to the last thing, which we kind of alluded to before, but I'm actually really happy for this. This person's gone through a lot of shit in the last 20 years. A lot of people, you'll hear people shit talk him all the time and stuff. But, and he wasn't the best in-ring guy.
No.
No.
But I think
he deserves
it's pretty easy.
He deserves it.
Pretty easy to shit on him, and he had some pretty iconic moments. Part of the Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He slammed Yokozuna on the fucking battleship.
His WCW debut was iconic.
He won the fucking world title on Nitro. He beat Hogan for it. Hogan actually allowed him to beat him. So that's crazy. Yep. Hogan usually doesn't do that. We're obviously talking about not Superman's arch enemy, just someone who sounds very, very similar. And by the way, whenever I say Lex Luthor, I always end up saying this guy's name, Lex Luger. Yes, going into the WWE Hall of Fame. This is good. I like this.
I like that little segment, or I guess you want to call it a segment, where it's Cody announcing it and he stood up for it.
Yeah,
that was I'm gonna be honest, that was good.
Yeah, that was great. I think this is way past overdue. A lot of people, a lot of the people are saying he doesn't deserve it because of the whole Miss Elizabeth thing in him.
Then would she not deserve it as well?
Would Austin not deserve it?
Well, they're calling him a murderer. They're like, oh, he killed her.
Did he though?
They were together. So the story is she overdosed, and it was all the stuff he introduced her to. So she died in the house while he was asleep. So people blame him for her death. Which you can blame you can blame him for introducing the shit to her.
But she had her demons. Let's be real. How many druggies are in the Hall of Fame? We love Eddie, but Eddie had his demons too. I'm sorry. Yeah. If we can go back and just go with everyone. Look at Lethal. It's not her. It's not his fault. She can't handle her drugs.
Well, that's honestly, to take that point and actually make it into something that's a point that I do want to make. It takes two to tango.
Yes, exactly.
What are we saying that now we can't have Miss Elizabeth in the Hall of Fame?
Should Austin be taken out because he beat his wife?
Be in there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. No, I don't think so either. But I'm just making the point. To
be honest, there's only one person who I think has done something so egregious that they can't be in there, and we all know
Benoit.
There's no holding him back, Trey.
That's a different story for a different time. I don't believe Deborah, but that's just me. So that's just fucking me. But anyways,
well, there's other cases of that happening too. So I think I don't know.
Shawn Michaels? I just thought about it. What about Shawn Michaels? The shit he done in the past.
Yeah, he did a lot of drugs.
Michaels.
Yeah,
Who's-
going back to that real quick. Was it Jeannie his first wife? Chris Adams' wife? Has she ever said he touched her?
I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay.
And to be honest, I don't know if it really even matters that much. To be honest, what we're getting at is there's a lot of pieces of shit in wrestling.
Yeah.
And what a lot of them are pretty like a
Look
lot
at
of them
New
are
Jack.
pretty.
New
Yeah,
Jack,
look at New
yeah.
Jack.
He,
And I
he
would
made
say
the
New
fucking.
He
the
made
fucking
2K20.
wrestling
Yeah,
game.
he made 2K25. All
Yeah.
because apparently Nick Khan was a fucking
And you
New
know
Jack
what?
guy. That's literally all
Yeah.
it was.
Look, here's the thing. I can't believe I'm saying this. I could see a case for putting New Jack in the Hall of Fame eventually, way down the line. You got to get
Yeah.
someone like Tommy Dreamer in first or Sandman, and
Yeah.
there's a ton of ECW people that got to go before
Yeah.
him. But still, either way, like Lex Luger was a pretty fucking important.
He was
person
iconic. He
in the
was big in
90s.
that late 80s, 90s time. So yeah, he deserves it.
He made that first episode of Nitro fucking iconic. That was
Yeah.
him, right?
Mhm.
Now, to be fair, I just want to point out there one of my favorite matches of all time is Brian Pillman versus Liger, the first match on Nitro. I fucking love that match. It's really fun, and it's just that it's like them doing a normal TV match, but I really do enjoy it. But that iconic moment of him showing up in the crowd the
The
next
Mall of
day,
America.
Yeah.
the Mall of
That,
America.
that's he's evolved.
The
Yeah,
day
that's
The same
after.
day.
after his contract came up.
Yeah.
That is like the oh shit, they're not playing around anymore.
that's the
moment.
opening. Someone could argue the opening salvo of the Monday Night Wars was that moment.
Oh, it is. It is. It absolutely is. And it's the moment where you're like, oh, so WCW is not fucking around anymore here.
No.
I know there was
Yeah.
a lot of fucking around they did afterwards, but
Yeah.
eventually you get Scott Hall, you get Kevin Nash, right? You get
Hogan.
the NWO. But
Yep.
people aren't watching that if people aren't going to continue watching that if you didn't have Luger come out, if you didn't
Yep.
make that big splash with it.
Well, first
and
it was
so
Hogan. Hogan was the first guy that came over. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah, but I
Hogan
mean,
came. Yeah,
people
phenomenal
would
effect.
at that point people were kind of tired of Hogan still.
Yeah.
Right.
Hogan didn't become relevant until the NWO stuff. Let's be real.
Yeah, Hogan
In
was
WCW.
Hogan was diminishing and pretty quickly. Remember that was like that same episode. He keeps shilling his Pasta Mania restaurant.
Oh, and he had the fucking bad feud with the Big Show before the NWO stuff.
Yeah.
The monster
Yeah.
truck. Yeah.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? You can buy one of those Hulk Hogan Pasta Mania cooking. I don't what do they call those things to go over when you cook?
Oh, aprons.
Yes. You can buy those for like I saw one on Amazon or eBay. Some guy was selling for like $35. What the chef had and all. I'm like, I'm not buying that, dude.
Yeah, you are. You're going to Pasta Mania's running wild, dude. So
Pasta
with that,
Mania's running
though,
wild, brother. Let's get
listen
it.
here, dude. You want some pasta, brother?
You know what goes great
fucking-
with Great American? Yeah, you know what goes great with Hulkamania pasta? Great American beer, whatever the fuck. It's
Real
called.
American
Oh.
beer, brother.
Oh no, you do not drink beer and eat pasta. Oh my god, you're gonna fucking throw up. Who the fuck goes to a mall to get pasta though?
I don't know.
Do you ever eat spaghetti at a food court like a mall?
No.
That's I feel like a restaurant, like an actual
Sir, yeah,
Oh, I
pasta
mean-
needs to be like restaurant. I don't
Yeah,
not eating
cream.
fast food
Yeah.
pasta.
Cream, how did you pronounce that?
What word?
Pasta.
Pasta.
You mean pasta?
Pasta.
Well,
Pasta. What? You broke
Just
time.
pasta.
Oh,
are
God,
you
Canadians.
part Italian or something or some shit?
It's
Huh?
is it the Canadian?
No,
It's my
no,
accent.
Cream-
It's my accent. You
Okay, I was
say-
like-
people get mad when I say hot dogs.
What?
What?
Hot dogs. Yeah.
What dog?
Hot dog. What the fuck
Yeah.
is that?
HUTT dog. I know it's hot dog, but I say hot dog.
Hot dog.
So-
Okay.
Give me a hot dog.
I did not know Pizza Hut was selling hot dogs now. All right.
They did actually. They did. Remember they had that shitty stuffed crust, which was a little hot dog.
Oh God, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do remember.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So fuck you.
Anyway, let's get back to Lex Luger. He deserves it.
Yeah, you got a fucking roast
Like,
me for your accent.
I mean-
and you're like water.
Like, going back to Quick Point, a lot of wrestlers are pieces of shit in real life. I mean, Eddie had his demons too. And obviously, I made the joke. Coke Michaels
Yeah, he
was a
stole a
thing.
man's child.
Yeah, he stole it.
No, that was his son. Damn it.
That
You
was his
shouldn't-
son. Yeah, Dominic is a Guerrero. Yeah,
Look, I
Dominic
never
Guerrero.
saw the DNA test. All right.
Yeah,
Like,
don't you see the resemblance now? He's got the mullet and shit. That's his dad, man. Fuck.
All right. Okay. It is the correct pronunciation to call Quebec. That is actually the proper pronunciation. That's not even bullshit. It is actually the proper pronunciation. Everyone calling it Quebec is wrong. It's Quebec. That's actually how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it's like Celtics and Celtics for the basketball team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone calls them Celtics. That's not how you pronounce it. It's Celtics.
Celtic, yeah. But then they'll say Celtic Warrior like Sheamus.
Yeah, but I guess it sounds weird when you say
or
it.
like I don't know, the Scottish soccer team, the Celtic
Oh
as
yeah.
well. This
Yeah. But I think I'm sharing my screen. I think it's working. Is it?
yes. So we'll bring it up.
Yeah.
I think Lex Luger has an idea of who he wants to induct him.
Yeah.
What it writes here is Lex Luger wants to have DDP and Sting at his WWE Hall of Fame induction. If I could have my two guys up there with me, man, DDP on my shoulder, kind of spotting me, and Sting on the other. If it's possible, I go, man, that would be amazing. So we shall see. If I have anything to say about that, that would be my pick. I hope that this happens.
I hope it happens too.
With a DDP, I don't think he's under contract with anything.
He'll be an easy
And
get. He'll be
He's
the
got a
easiest to
Legends
get.
deal. He's got a
Yeah,
Legends
yeah.
deal with WWE. That's
Yeah,
it.
because he gets figures made and shit. So yeah, he has that
Yeah.
Legends deal.
So
So
he's under contract. He's good.
Sting's the only one like that's gonna be, and you got that's more on Tony, if anything.
but also I don't think it'll be a problem, right? For example, Jake Roberts is under contract with AEW. He's in the new wrestling game. Billy Gunn's going to be DLC. They're both under contract with AEW. I think this is a case where he
Eventually, the
just kind of-
Hardys, I theorize, will be in 2K, and they're in TNA.
Yeah, but my point is just that I think Tony will be like, okay, this is a circumstance where I'm going to allow this,
Yeah,
right?
Mhm.
And I would be disappointed. I don't think you put any clauses on it either. I think you just do this as a, hey, this is something that should happen.
and he's
Don't try to
requested
pull
it.
the bullshit. Don't do this shit where you tried to do with Billy Gunn, right? Where you wanted AEW promotion on WWE TV. Don't do that shit. This is not meant to be a court. Like, this is meant to,
Yeah.
honor
This is-
people for doing good work.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is an
they're-
honor.
Yeah, this is I'm not gonna say a favor, but as a wrestling fan, this one you just look over. Okay, you guys want Sting? Have at it. Let him show up to the Hall of Fame. Let
And
him
Luger
go
himself wants Sting there. Like,
Yeah.
honor the man.
Here's the
He-
thing. I don't think Tony will be like. Remember when Ric Flair showed up for the Hall of Fame and they inducted the Horsemen that year in Miami? in
Yeah.
28? They had to work out a deal, and they the big thing was she asked for Christian, and of course they gave it to her, which she even asked if she can get John Cena or Hulk Hogan back or Brock Lesnar, you know what I mean, something like that. But anyway,
Yeah, I
Don't-
think because they knew they were never going to get it, but
but still, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? To say, okay, we're
Mhm.
not that stupid. To show we're not that dumb, right? But my thing is, I think as a goodwill, I think Tony will allow it because it's a great story, man. The whole
Yeah.
redemption arc for Luger, and plus having
Yeah.
his best friend being his best friend and business partner in Sting. I mean, fuck, they had their own gym back in the day in Georgia, main event Gold's Gym. So I mean, it's not like something like and plus they pretty much grew up together in the business, honestly.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
both got big at the same time, practically.
Yeah.
yeah, I think, and I mean, the reason why Bischoff has said this, the reason why he hired Luger after his contract was up, because it was a favor to Sting, and it was the best. I think it was maybe one of the best things he ever did.
Oh,
the best
yeah.
thing
Say
Yeah,
that,
maybe.
Luger was, maybe they overpaid
It was
him
worth
or
the
whatever.
investment.
That doesn't
It was
matter.
worth the investment.
That first moment, that's worth the investment. That moment, that is literally one of the most. I think it's probably like top. It's probably the second biggest moment on WCW like Nitro history. The only thing
Outside
that would be
of
bigger was Scott
Hall and Nash. Yeah.
No, Hall showing up. I think when Nash showed up, it wasn't as big. Hall showing up that first time was out of fucking nowhere because you could see him walking in the crowd and he was coming down. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
That moment's bigger, but the second biggest is Luger because remember Hogan joining the NWO. That didn't happen. It happened at Bash at the Beach, so
Yeah.
you can't even count that. Yeah, but
Well,
yeah,
I mean, think about it too. Luger's one of the last guys that wrestled in the territories because when he started, he broke in Florida. He broke in with Hiro Matsuda in there in
Yep.
Florida. Then he went to
did his
Crockett.
leg get broken like Hulk Hogan's?
No, apparently he really liked Luger, so he didn't break his leg. So
Yeah, that's. So why did he break your leg, Hogan? Because he didn't break Luger's leg.
here's the thing. You know what's funny? Hogan's changed his tune now. Hogan says now he's telling people he didn't get trained by Hiro Matsuda. He got trained by the guy who's going to do the Rocky 3. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on. He said that the guy that did Rocky 3 choreograph for Rocky 3 was the guy that trained him, and he's the one that got him fired. He's like, yeah, bro,
What?
I don't want to say I got him fired. He said, but I didn't trust him. So he's like, I just told Stallone, it's like, yeah, I can do this. I'll teach you how to do this shit. We don't need him. And it's like, dude, you broke in with
Fucking
Hiro
Hogan.
Matsuda. He broke in with Hiro Matsuda. Everyone said this. Even Gerald Briscoe said this. Yeah, I was there when Matsuda broke his leg. He put him in a freaking a dragon screw or something like that and broke his leg. Legit, he broke his leg. Because two things.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to show Hogan, number one, you're kind of a fucking douchebag. And number two, to see how tough he was and if he was serious about it. Because you go back and watch that clip of Hogan taking a hip toss. It's on YouTube. You can find it. Hogan is skinny as a rail. He looked like Nick Hogan that looked 6'4". Literally. He is that skinny.
Yeah, it's just as we end this episode this week, I think the takeaway is fuck Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Listen, dude, you just hate me because of my politics, brother. No, I hate you because you fucking
Nah,
suck.
Hogan. I have similar politics, brother. You're a retard.
Well,
Bitch
he's getting
ass.
sued. Well, now he's getting sued, and plus he's getting bitched out online because he's refusing to sign little kids' autographs at the fucking beer thing.
What the fuck?
What? Why?
Why, Hogan?
What the fuck are you doing,
Yeah,
Hogan?
you guys didn't see it today. It was on Twitter.
No.
Dude, I see all the time celebrities like complaining because they're like, I'm not gonna sign anything because you guys are just gonna sell it. I don't give a fuck. Why would you give a fuck? You're giving
why
it
do
away
you
for
care?
free. What matters if they sell it?
I think for
Shouldn't
certain
that be
point-
like? Shouldn't that be like, I don't know, like a bit of a like flattering thing?
That would be an ego
Like,
boost for
wow,
me. Like,
people
oh,
really
my
think
people would
my
actually pay for
name
my
is worth-
fucking they'd actually pay
Yeah.
money
I
for
don't
my
know. I don't know if Lethal's in here or not, but it's like George Lucas, right? People would just hound George Lucas to get his autograph so they can sell it on eBay for like $2,000 because they didn't want to work. I can understand.
Mhm.
Here's my thing: if you are an autograph hound and you're trying to make money off someone's name,
Oh yeah, you're a dickhead.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
But
But
also, what does it matter once you sign the name? You have nothing to do with that piece ever
Yeah.
again. So it doesn't
I guess-
matter.
I guess to them it's like a principle. I'm out here busting my ass while you're living off my name. I could
So
see
what?
that a little bit. But here's
I'm gonna
my
be
thing.
real. So
guess-
what?
It's a little
It's-
kid. Think
Yeah,
It's a little kid.
I
It's a
don't
little
know.
kid. Yeah, you
Even
should
if-
always
even
sign.
if it's like a 40, as long as they're not a dickhead. Like if the person's being a real dick about it, I'd be like, nah, I ain't signing your shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But like just in general, being like, I'm not gonna sign.
And the optics, it doesn't make you look good. You look like the asshole for not signing. I'm just gonna keep it real. You look like the asshole, especially if it's a kid.
yeah.
It's even worse. It's a kid.
Hogan's
Hogan.
always been phonier than a football bat. So I mean, I think people now are
Oh yeah,
just
he's
trying-
always been an
Yeah.
asshole.
Remember,
Yeah.
Mr. I was in Metallica. I was supposed to be in Metallica.
that's
Fucking
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. People are-
Imagine him playing for Who the Bell Tolls. I
Yeah.
don't think he.
Oh, God.
And the thing is, Hogan's not a bad bass player. If you've ever heard his album he did when he was in Japan,
I've heard it. Yeah.
it's surprisingly good. The other album is fucking terrible, the one he did back in the States. But the Ichiban Hogan album is wild.
Oh,
dude.
are you talking about the Hogan rap? The Hogan
no,
rap.
No, he's
Oh,
like,
I'm talking
yeah.
the whole album. That American album he did in like the late 80s. Ooh, it's bad. The
I don't
one he
know
did
who-
in Japan was good.
Remember the air conditioning he did? It's on YouTube. I don't think we can show it, but it's like he's like singing Monday, or he's like singing the days of the week. It's an air conditioning company.
Yeah,
It-
yeah. Well, we're not counting that. I'm talking about the
No, no,
actual. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying that. I thought it was kind of funny just like seeing that shit. I just thought that was like, this is
Yeah.
all right. You mentioned Japan.
We all
that's
know
what popped
Terry
in my
Funk
mind.
had a better album than everyone else combined because there's
Macho
slight
Man.
anti-Semitism
Macho
in
Man.
Yeah,
Macho
who's got
Man
better
probably has
album?
the best
Man,
album.
Hogan.
You know who's got a better album than all of them?
Oh,
John Cena.
I hate to say it, John Cena's low key. His albums are bars, dude.
Cena's
Bad
album
Man.
is pretty fire, man.
I've been listening to that a lot more recently,
Listen,
dude.
Listen,
That-
for a fat white dude who's a redneck, I do not mind the rap. I'm not gonna lie. Bad Man. That's a pretty fucking banger song.
That should be a Cena's theme. That should be
it's
Cena's
a really
theme.
good beat. I really
That
like
needs-
the beat on it. And,
that-
and the
and
thing
the-
is, the guy who got his beat to do his beats has done like big rap names. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like he didn't cheap out. He found someone who can do good fucking beats, and obviously that's the same guy who did the boop, 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 boop beat. That's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, the trumpets. Yeah. Yeah. Like I
But
said,
with that, ladies and gentlemen, fuck Hulk Hogan.
Huh.
And
Fuck
I think
Hulk
it's
Hogan.
I think it's time we wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen. Trey,
All right.
you got anything coming up, you big sack of shit?
I'm gonna be back to doing videos soon, and that's about it. Oh, join the Discord.
Fuck you. Yeah, join the Discord. Fuck you, Trey. Mr. T, what do you got coming up, you piece of shit?
I got some projects working on secretly. Can't disclose it right now, but stay tuned. Besides being on here, I'll be doing another channel with someone else, and I think Trey's going to be a part of it too.
Yep.
Just can't disclose
It's
what it is right
pornography.
now.
It's pornography. I know what it is.
Yeah.
Should be a lot of fun you guys doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Trey are going to review the gangbang from Bonnie Blue and from Lily Phillips. We're going to be reviewing
Oh,
it.
Yes, exactly.
Hey.
Exactly.
and speaking of that, fuck you, Mr. T. Fuck you, Trey. We're getting out of here. I don't know why I'm being so mean to you guys, by the way.
You're Canadian and we're
it's-
American.
This is the
That's
first
why.
time we've talked in like what, a week?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been
2
weeks.
weeks. Yeah.
Weeks. It's been 2
Yep.
weeks. Look at my eyes, bro. I'm fucked up, bro. I'm fucked up. I need some goddamn sleep. I've been smoking too much crack lately. It's fucking me up. But with that, anyways, it's time for us to let's get the fuck out of here.
I got it. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America, do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America, America, beautiful. Do you have your passport? Did you get